how do you get there? How do you come up with an idea to write a paper like this? Well, what you have to do is first you have to come up with a general theme. And the best way to do that is by selecting a discipline in which you want to publish. So in this instance, when I was working in my medical school laboratory, the theme that I had to work in was cardiology journals. Once you type in cardiology journals, you essentially want to go down to a journal ranking site called Sigr Major. This is available in all disciplines, whether you're writing a paper in cardiology, endocrinology, anesthesiology, or a surgical subspecialty. What you do is you go to this website, and short of showing the rankings for these journals, this is also super helpful because you get to see the different types of journals that they have for the specific field. In this instance, it is the journals for cardiology and how many individuals publish it. Now, one thing that you guys will see as I'm scrolling through this short of rankings is this little open sign over here. This means that the journal is open access. In other words, you can access their PDFs for free, and you're able to essentially learn more about what's being published by not having to pay for the publications. However, if you are conducting this research at the university setting and you have access through the libraries or other means that your institution provides, or whether you want to purchase a paper, you would very much be able to essentially look into one of these journals. And so for cardiology, there's about 356 journals that can go through. And essentially going through all of these, what you guys will see is that there's just so many of them, and they have ratings for different types of fields. And so in this instance, as a medical student, you're able to, in order to get a free PDF, you can select a journal and you can type it or copy and paste it and essentially go to it. So vascular health and risk management is one of the journals. And so in this instance, you go to the publisher's website. So now that you're at publisher's website, what you do is you click on the publisher's website, and you take a look at the publications that they've put out. This here is an example of some of the most recent things that they've just published in the specific journals, and you essentially open it up and you read it. And so in my instance, what happened is much like the process that I showed you in this very same journal. I came across this very interesting study that called Impact of Around the Clock In-House Cardiology Fellow Coverage on Door to Balloon Time in an Academic Medical Center. So from reading just the abstract and taking a look at what is written in this paper, you will see that this study was conducted only at one academic center, not a multi-center study, and that it was taking a look at essentially the cardiac unit the response rate in hours to the hospital on call, resulting, in taking a look how the patients did with STEMI and other comorbidity factors. Now, after reading something like this, for me, my wheels, so to speak, started to turn with the idea, hey, what if we take a look at things like how well fellows are interpreting EKGs, or how well are they interpreting echoes, and also perhaps take a look at other clinical skills that they have. So after you read something like this, the point is you get inspired, you come up with an idea, and now after you've read this paper and you kind of have your idea, the best thing to do, as they taught in some of my entrepreneurship courses over at University of Nevada, Las Vegas, is go through the Google test. And so through here, what you type in is essentially what you're looking for. And so, much like if you type these things, you want to see that something that you've written does not exist. So in this instance, yes, it does exist now because this has been written by me, and this actually comes up first over here. And so, if should you have a case where a paper is written on such a topic, you have two ways of going about it. The first way is you can come up with a new idea, or The second way, you can go ahead and read what has been written in a paper and what it covers, and then perhaps do a similar study that addresses some of the factors that were, or questions that were not answered in that study. And that is how you come up with an idea in order to write a paper for a systematic review.